All right, so we're going to be doing a deep dive today on, this whole idea of making illegal amounts of money online in 2025. And you send over this Iman Gadzhi YouTube video, and wow, I mean, just the title itself, it really grabs your attention.
Oh, yeah. It does. That's for sure. And, right away, he kind of paints this picture
Of what he calls level 10 success.
Right. Yeah.
So think, private jets and these passive income streams just like rolling in. Way more than, what you'd be making every month with an agency. It's a pretty enticing image, right?
Yeah, definitely aspirational. But I think what's interesting is he's not just about
The flashy lifestyle. There's actually a really important distinction he makes between these, what he calls level 2 and level 10 opportunities. So level 2 being that, classic trading time for money scenario, which I think a lot of people find themselves in.
Totally. It's that familiar grind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where your income is totally tied to how many hours you put in. And Gadzhi's argument is that agencies can be great, for hitting that initial, $10,000 a month mark, but they ultimately hit a ceiling because you're always limited by time.
Right. So that's where level 10 comes in. It's about creating systems that work for you even when you're not working. And he's really pushing these digital products as the key to unlocking that level of success.
Yeah. And I think what I find really interesting is that he's not discounting the role that agencies played for him. It's not ditch agencies altogether. But he's saying that, for him, they were a stepping stone, a way to build skills and get some capital that he could then use to create these more scalable income streams.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And he even introduces this idea of a minimum viable digital product, or an MVDP. It's basically a prototype, right? A really bare bones version of your product that you can use to generate revenue while you're still developing it.
It's such a cool concept. It's like getting paid to do market research. You're basically, validating your idea and getting feedback from real customers before you spend tons of time and money into a fully polished product.
Yeah, he calls it an earn to learn model, which I love. You're not just putting something out there and hoping for the best. You're actually actively learning and getting feedback and improving based on what you're hearing.
And what's really interesting is that he suggests using coaching as the way to initially deliver your MVDP.
Okay, hold on. Why coaching? Wouldn't something like a self-paced online course be a more scalable way to test the waters?
Well, I mean, he does make some good points. So first of all, coaching allows for way more, personalization and support. You can really tailor your guidance to each individual client, to their needs and their challenges, which should lead to, better results and happier customers.
Yeah, I can see that. It's the difference between, reading a book about fitness and working with a personal trainer.
Exactly. And because you're providing that, high-touch customized experience, you can charge way more for coaching than you could for a self-paced course.
Yeah, that makes sense from a business perspective. But what about scalability? Doesn't coaching kind of limit your reach?
Well, he addresses that too. He actually argues that coaching, at least initially, creates a sense of exclusivity. It's desirable because it's a VIP experience. And that perceived value can actually attract more clients who are willing to pay that premium price for the personal attention.
Interesting. So it's not just about testing your product. It's about, building a high-value brand from the beginning.
Precisely. And it's not like you have to do coaching forever. Once you've validated your idea and, refined your methods, then you can move to something more automated, like an online course or a membership site.
Okay, that makes sense. So you're using coaching as a launch pad to build some momentum and refine your product, and then eventually you scale it to a wider audience.
Yeah, exactly. But before you even get to the coaching stage, Gadzhi really emphasizes that you need to be choosing the right problem to solve. He even says that passion projects aren't always the best way to make money.
Wow, that's a bold statement. I feel like a lot of people, especially in the online business world, are told to follow your passion. So what's his reasoning there?
Well, you see, he believes that passion is important, but it's not the only thing to consider when you're choosing a business idea. He's a big advocate for what he calls problem farming, which basically means finding high-value problems that people are willing to pay to have solved.
So it's less about what you love and more about what the market needs.
Exactly. He uses this great analogy of a car mechanic and a flat tire. You don't care if the mechanic loves cars, you just want your tire fixed, and you're willing to pay for that.
That's a perfect analogy. So how do you actually go about finding those high-value problems? Does he give any guidance on that?
He does. He introduces this concept of the unique value zone, or UVZ. Basically, it's a niche within a niche. It's about finding a specific group of people with a specific problem that you can become really good at solving.
So instead of targeting everyone who wants to make money online, you might focus on helping, let's say, e-commerce store owners increase their conversion rates.
Precisely. It's about drilling down to find those specific high-value problems that people are desperate to solve and are willing to pay a premium for.
Okay, I'm starting to see how this all fits together. You find a high-value problem, you develop a solution, you package it into a coaching offer, you use that to refine your product, and then eventually you can scale to a wider audience.
That's it. It's a strategic approach that combines, market demand, valuable solutions, and smart business principles.
So let's say you've, identified your unique value zone and you've even started to develop your solution. What's the next step in this, level 10 journey?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. Gadzhi argues that simply having information about a problem isn't enough. You need to be able to synthesize that knowledge into a usable solution.
So you're talking about taking all the information that's out there and distilling it down into a plan that people can actually follow to solve their problem.
Right. It's about connecting the dots, identifying the most effective methods, and organizing them in a way that's easy to understand and implement. He actually introduces this visual tool he calls a visceral transformation map to help with this process.
Okay, now I'm intrigued. What is this visceral transformation map? Does he explain how it works?
Oh, he does. So imagine like a journey from point A to point B. Point A is your client's current state where they're experiencing the problem. Point B is their desired state where the problem is solved. And the visceral transformation map basically outlines the specific steps they need to take to get from A to B. It also includes, the resources and support they'll need along the way.
So it's like a roadmap for achieving the desired outcome. I can see how that would be helpful for both the coach and the client.
And what's really wild is that Gadzhi has been developing an AI tool to help with this whole synthesis process.
Wait, an AI tool? Tell me more.
He calls it Synthesis AI, and it's designed to do some pretty incredible things. It can analyze expert methods, generate product outlines. It can even identify potential tools and resources that you might need to create your solution.
Wow, so it's like having a research assistant and a product development consultant all rolled into one.
Exactly. He even walks through an example in the video where he uses Synthesis AI to analyze the virtual conference niche, which is pretty impressive. The AI identifies potential unique value zones within that niche. It analyzes, expert approaches to running successful virtual events, and it even creates a step-by-step action plan that someone could use to launch their own virtual conference business.
That's amazing. It really feels like AI is changing the game when it comes to creating and delivering these digital products. Mm-hmm. But I imagine even with these powerful tools, the human element is still really important.
Oh, absolutely. Gadzhi emphasizes that AI can be an incredible asset, but it's important to understand the underlying principles. Things like synthesis, problem solving, effective communication. You still need to be able to think critically, connect with your audience, and present your solution in a way that's engaging and persuasive.
All right, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from level 10 opportunities in digital products to problem farming, unique value zones, and even AI-powered tools. It's a lot to process.
It is, but it's all really relevant if you're serious about building a successful online business in 2025.
And there's even more to come. Remember, Gadzhi hinted at revealing his secret tools for success in his next video. So stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll unpack those tools and explore how you can use them to create truly irresistible offers.
And in the meantime, I'd encourage you to think about, what unique value you could offer to the world. What problem are you passionate about solving? And how could you use these concepts to create your own path to level 10 success?
Welcome back. So last time we left off with, Iman Gadzhi kind of teasing these secret tools for success in his next video. So are you ready to find out what they are?
I am. So it turns out these tools are all about creating what he calls irresistible offers. Basically, how to present your product in a way that makes it almost impossible for your ideal customer to say no.
Okay, so it sounds kind of like, classic marketing, but I'm guessing he has his own twist on it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He actually makes this distinction between, irresistible offers and tangible offers. At first, I was like, wait, shouldn't all offers be irresistible? But he makes this argument that for high-ticket coaching programs, tangible offers are actually often more effective.
Okay, so what's the difference?
So think about those, those irresistible offers that you see online all the time. The ones with the flashy headlines, the limited time discounts, all the bonus bundles. They usually rely on emotional triggers and scarcity tactics.
Yeah. I've definitely seen those. And honestly, they can be kind of overwhelming.
Totally. And Gadzhi's point is that while those tactics can work, in some cases they can also backfire, especially when you're dealing with, these high-ticket offers where people are investing a lot of money. It can come across as manipulative or even desperate.
So instead of trying to create that frenzy, he's advocating for a more straightforward approach with these tangible offers.
Exactly. It's all about clarity, logic, value.
Yeah.
You're clearly communicating what the client gets, what results they can expect, how the whole process works. It's about building trust through transparency instead of hype.
Right. And this is where his framework for creating these tangible offers comes in.
Yeah.
Remember from last time, the 3 key components he emphasizes are, a clear goal, a measurable impact, and well-defined logistics.
Yes, exactly. And he actually goes deeper into each component. He gives, specific templates and examples to help you craft each one effectively. Like for defining the goal of your offer, he suggests using this structure. Help target audience to achieve desired outcome without pain points so they can enjoy specific benefits.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. It's concise and it really focuses on the transformation.
Right. So let's say you're targeting, entrepreneurs who are constantly feeling overwhelmed by their to-do lists. Your goal might be something like, help busy entrepreneurs regain control of their schedules without feeling overwhelmed so they can finally reclaim their evenings and weekends for family and fun.
Okay, yeah, that's a great example. It addresses the pain point, and it really paints a picture of that desired outcome.
Exactly. And then you move on to impact. This is where you need to really quantify the benefits of achieving that goal. Gadzhi recommends using data, case studies, testimonials to back up your claims.
So instead of just saying you'll save time, you might say something like, our clients report gaining an average of 10 hours of free time per week after implementing our time management system.
Exactly. It's about making that value tangible and undeniable. And then finally, you need to clearly outline the logistics. The nuts and bolts of how your offer works.
So things like, how the program is structured, how long it lasts, what kind of support is provided, what tools and resources are included.
Yeah, you got it. It's about removing any guesswork for the client. They know exactly what they're getting into, what's expected of them, and what they can realistically expect to achieve.
This all makes a lot of sense, but I have to ask, Isn't there a risk of being too straightforward? I mean, don't you need a little bit of, sizzle to capture people's attention online?
That's a great question. And Gadzhi acknowledges that you still need to make your offer compelling. But instead of relying on hype and scarcity, he says focus on the transformation the client will experience.
Okay, so it's like instead of selling a weight loss program, you're selling the confidence and energy that comes with achieving a healthy weight.
Exactly. You're painting a picture of that after state, the desired outcome, and making it so desirable that the client is willing to invest in your offer to get there.
Right. And that kind of ties back to, addressing those objections proactively. Like anticipating the doubts or fears a customer might have and addressing them head on.
Exactly. Think about the common objections people have with high-ticket offers. Things like time commitment, fear of failure, even the price itself.
Right. So the time commitment objection, you might showcase testimonials from busy professionals who have successfully implemented your program. Or for the fear of failure, you might offer a money-back guarantee or highlight your support system.
Exactly. It's about addressing those concerns before they even come up, which builds trust and increases the perceived value of your offer.
He also talks about framing your offer in a way that emphasizes the potential return on investment.
Right?
Yes.
It's not just about what the client is paying. It's about what they stand to gain. If your program can help a business owner double their revenue, that's a much stronger selling point than just saying, you'll learn some marketing strategies.
Right. It's about shifting the focus from cost to value.
Exactly.
Now, I know we talked about avoiding scarcity tactics, but he does mention creating a sense of urgency ethically. How does he suggest doing that?
Well, he advises against using, fake deadlines or limited time discounts, which can feel manipulative. Instead, he suggests highlighting the limited number of spots available in your coaching program or emphasizing the unique value of working directly with you.
So it's more about exclusivity than pressure.
Exactly. It's about creating a genuine sense of value and opportunity without resorting to those, buy now before it's too late tactics.
Okay, this is all great stuff. But I'm curious, does he give any, real-world examples of businesses that are doing this successfully?
Oh, he does. And what's interesting is a lot of the examples he gives are businesses in what you might consider boring industries, like accounting, plumbing, insurance. But they're thriving because they've mastered this art of presenting their services in a way that makes them irresistible.
That's a great point. It shows that these principles can apply to any business.
Exactly. It's really about understanding your ideal customer, their needs, their desires, and then presenting your offer as the perfect solution.
Right. But crafting the offer is only part of the equation. He also goes into some tactics for actually selling your offer online. Things like building a strong online presence, creating compelling sales pages, leveraging social media.
Yeah. It's about having a solid marketing strategy to get your offer in front of the right people.
So it's not just about broadcasting your message. It's about building relationships and having conversations.
Right. He even provides a framework for structuring your sales conversations both online and offline.
Yeah, I'm all ears. What are some of the key elements of his sales framework?
Well, first and foremost, he stresses the importance of building rapport. It's about connecting with the potential client on a human level, showing genuine interest in their needs and challenges.
Yeah, I can see how that would be crucial, especially online where it's easy to feel like just another transaction.
Exactly. And then it's about asking the right questions to really understand their situation. What are their pain points? What are their goals? What have they tried in the past? What are their hesitations?
So it's about being a consultant, not just a salesperson.
Precisely. And once you have a clear understanding of their needs, then you can present your offer as the solution.
He also talks about the power of storytelling in sales, right?
Yes, he does. He believes that stories are so powerful because they connect with people on an emotional level. He suggests weaving compelling narratives into your sales messaging, whether it's your own story, the stories of your clients, or even case studies that demonstrate the effectiveness of your offer.
Yeah, that makes sense. People remember stories. They're more engaging and relatable than just a list of features and benefits.
Exactly. It's about making your offer human and relatable, not just a cold transaction.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here, from tangible offers to transformation-focused messaging, addressing objections, emphasizing ROI, and even incorporating storytelling into your sales process. I feel like I've got a whole new toolkit for creating and selling irresistible offers.
You do, but the key is to implement these strategies in a way that feels authentic and aligned with your values. Remember, it's not about manipulating people into buying something they don't need. It's about creating genuine value, building trust, and helping people achieve their desired outcomes.
Yeah, that's such an important point. These tactics can be really powerful, but they need to be used responsibly and ethically.
Absolutely. And that's something we're going to explore in more depth in part 3 of our deep dive. We'll be talking about, the ethical considerations of these strategies and how to apply them in a way that feels good and aligns with your vision for your business.
So stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive where we'll unpack those ethical considerations and wrap up our exploration of Iman Gadzhi's strategies for creating those level 10 opportunities online. All right, welcome back for the final part of our deep dive into Iman Gadzhi's strategies for creating those level 10 opportunities online.
It's been a journey. We've talked about building those tangible offers and really focusing on that transformation, and even how AI tools are kind of changing the game.
Right. But as we wrap things up, I think it's important to talk about something Gadzhi himself brings up in the video. That ethical side of all these powerful tactics.
Yeah, it's a really good point. And honestly, it's something that anyone who's, spent any time in the online business world has probably seen. There's a fine line between, persuasive marketing and just straight up manipulation.
Yeah, we've all seen those ads promising overnight riches, or those gurus who just prey on people's insecurities.
Yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the hype and lose sight of what's really valuable.
Totally. And, I appreciate that Gadzhi actually addresses this. He encourages people to, question everything, do their research, be a discerning consumer. He's very clear that these strategies are tools, powerful tools, but any tool, they can be used for good or for bad.
Right. It's like that saying, with great power comes great responsibility. We have all these incredible marketing and sales tactics, but it's up to us to use them ethically and, with integrity.
Exactly. So how do we make sure we're staying on the right side of that line? How do we create these irresistible offers that are still ethical?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What are some red flags or things to watch out for when we're building our offers?
Well, I think it really starts with understanding your audience and their needs. Are you actually providing solutions to their problems, or are you just taking advantage of their desire for, quick fixes or easy money?
Yeah, that's so important. It's like that saying, sell people what they need, not what they want.
Exactly. Gadzhi actually uses this great analogy in the video. He says selling someone a get-rich-quick scheme is like selling them a lottery ticket. Sure, there's a tiny chance they might win big, but the odds are stacked against them and you're really just profiting from their desperation.
It's about building a sustainable business that actually provides value, not just chasing short-term profits.
Right. If you're teaching valuable skills, giving people tools and resources that can help them build a real business and supporting them along the way, then you're creating real value and contributing to their long-term success.
And I think transparency is huge. Being upfront about your pricing, your process, your qualifications, even your own limitations. Don't make promises you can't keep.
Absolutely. It's about building trust with your audience, not tricking them into buying something.
And that makes me think about, those scarcity tactics we talked about. If you are going to use them, you got to be honest about why. Like if you're only taking a limited number of clients, explain why that's good for them. Maybe it lets you give them more personalized attention, or it ensures they get the best results.
Right. You're framing those limitations as a benefit to the client, not just creating artificial urgency.
And Gadzhi also talks about focusing on long-term value over short-term gains. It's so easy to get caught up in that launch frenzy and the pressure to make a quick buck. But it's important to play the long game.
I agree. If you're always putting out low-quality products or burning out your audience with, super aggressive marketing, you're going to hurt your reputation. It's like trying to sprint a marathon. You might start strong, but you'll probably crash and burn before the finish line.
That's a great analogy. And it comes back to that idea of level 10 opportunities. It's not just about making a ton of money fast. It's about building a business that's sustainable and scalable and, aligned with your values.
It's about creating something you're proud of, something that makes a difference in the world, not just in your bank account.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a challenge. How can you apply these principles to your own business or your career? What unique value can you offer?
And how can you create an offer that's compelling and valuable and irresistible while staying true to yourself?
That's the question, isn't it?
It is.
And I hope this deep dive has given you the tools and the inspiration to start creating your own level 10 success story. Remember, you have the power to create positive change. Let's use it wisely.